Hello, this is Terry. Today is 31st of March 2024. Welcome to the shared recording of Stars and Cars Chronicles by Amethyst Astro Tarot podcast and my YouTube channel Amethyst Astro Tarot. As I have finished one recording about the April ingress chart, now I would be talking about the legendary Mercury retrograde that will be starting on 1st of April. Let me share the screen about that. Okay, let's look at the Mercury stationary retrograde chart that we see. It will be happening for UK time 11:14 at night on the 1st of April. That we see here that S, which is for stationing, and Mercury will be stationing retrograde in the sign of Aries starting from the 27 degrees 13 minutes of Aries, and it will continue until 25th of um, April 2024, and the finishing degree would be 15 degrees 58 minutes of Aries. But of course, it's good to remind that even the retrograde period finishes on the 25th of April. The post shadow, which is the after the movies period, will continue until May 13th. So please keep that in mind. So in general, what is the if we think about the general impact of the Mercury retrograde, if I can go back to my screen, I'm trying to see. Okay, so I mean, like Mercury is the planet of communication, the ideas, I mean, dexterity, and also its siblings, trade, short distance travels, and everything, Also, Mercury is a psychopomp, and helping the people from getting from one world to the other, and all these characters there is in the Mercury. I mean, and in general, when there is the retrograde period with the planets, there is this slowing down. It's like slowing down, and also it's a good period for reflection, reconsidering, and trying to maybe contemplating about what we have in case of Mercury, what we have thought of, what the way that we were communicating with people, and in case of maybe siblings, how we were I mean, in our interaction with our siblings and our nearby environment, and everything could be included in that sense. I mean, the retrograde periods I always call it's re-evaluation. I mean, I don't know, rethinking, reconsideration, all these kind of things we are thinking about. And then Mercury in Aries, I mean, in general, it's like, what is it? It's like, in a way, Aries, what comes with Aries, like we could I mean, during when the Mercury started moving through the sign of Aries, we may have started being more brave or courageous in getting our ideas about. And also it could have been, it's like that, more this initiative and energetic sense could have come in the way that we are relaying our thoughts to the other people, and starting maybe even projects based on our ideas, and also being more, I mean, like, energetic and assertive in the way that we communicate, or in our, as I said again, when it comes to our siblings or nearby environment. And also it's like the way that I mean, like, we are doing things, I mean, in our terms of business and everything. And of course, when there is a slowdown, it's a period that it's a way that we can make a break, especially in Mercury is like, swiftness and speediness, and Aries it's like there's this all fire energy. I think it's a really good period to slow down and then to think about, to rethink in a way, like what we have done until this time, that does everything make sense? Are there things that we can uh, reconsider or change, maybe just give up and continue in another way? Yeah, that's a really good period of being hermit, that it's like, yeah, like going inside and thinking about things and slowing down, and like it's a good period to give a break to some of the things. So in that sense, that could be a period like that from the 1st of April until 25th of April. And also we have to know where in our charts Aries is between, as I mentioned, the uh, 27 27 degrees and 15 degrees of Aries in our charts. For example, I'm thinking about Mars chart. It's coming from the ninth house back to the eighth house, and depending on the house that Aries is, could be even the same within the same house. It can uh, affect a certain area of our lives in that sense, and then there can be things that we need to reflect on in that period. And when I'm looking at this station chart of Mercury, we can see that, I mean, it has minor context, like a semi sextile with Venus. It's like, it's more like a, without considering the signs, it's like a bit of a need for adjustment between our uh, ideas and our values, maybe. And there is this semi square with the Saturn. I mean, it's like it can be kind of strain, and then some kind of friction, how we about between how we think and how we uh, make a lot of about certain stuff in our lives, depending again the signs and which areas of life are affected. And again, we see this again, another semi-sextile between Neptune and Mercury, which means that again a kind of level of adjustment uh, needed between our dreams, ideals, and uh, our thoughts and ideas that can be quite initiative and energetic, but our all our dreams and ideals, are there in line with that, or we need to make quite adjustments between these two energies. And the only main uh, major aspect that we see is the square, which might mean conflict between our the way that we are. There is a transformation or the change, or breaking down taboos, and also in a very unusual way, of course, when Pluto in Aquarius, and the way that we think in a quite assertive way. I mean, like there can be some problem that might be happening between these two energies, and maybe we need to find a way to make this conflict turn to a power position, in a way, like what the squares can offer us in general. I mean, like, because there is a conflict, there is a maybe some kind of, that resistance from both sides, and then it's like a dilemma occurring. But sometimes from this point of conflict, uh, the the byproduct of it can be really powerful and crucial in our lives as well. So we may need to think about where Aquarius and again Aries uh, is in our charts in that sense. Uh, because normally, as you know, I mean, like this is a 4 degrees and also separating it won't be as powerful as an applying aspect, which means that like it's the more entrance, but this is more like the exit point. But still, it's important to consider this conflict and potential power point in that sense. I mean, of course, we can, there are very mm, wide aspect with the Chiron. I mean, it will, of course, as it goes back, Mercury, it will approach more to the Chiron and they will, in the end, have a unity. But Chiron, I don't know if you only need to consider it as a like this wounded healer, which I wouldn't always. There is some kind of really important mentor that is lying out, a teacher that is lying under the Chiron, which can be really important uh, in rebuilding our maybe some of our thoughts and some of our ideas in that sense. So we have to consider that kind of teacher side of Chiron as well, which can be very important in maybe finalizing or giving some kind of energy to the Mercury retrograde period in that sense. And also we have to remember that like Mars is, which is the ruler of Aries, is still in Pisces, and that can be a really uh, passionate and very creative energy as well that will make an impact on this. So it might be really important to pass this period and don't being intimidated, don't get intimidated by the Mercury retrograde legendary thing and try to make a lot of use of it. I know that it would be also during the eclipse period, Mercury would be retrograde, but we, even though we have to see the whole picture and um, interpret things in the right way, we shouldn't fearmonger ourselves and the others. So we have to find a way to look at how we can turn some of the things that may appear not quite positive into a more positive way. I think that would be my intake about the Mercury retrograde in Aries. I hope that you pass all this period in the best way as possible. I will stop sharing now and I wish all the best to everyone. Bye bye.